Okay, so good day again, everyone. No? And this will be a continuation of what we have discussed last time, no, about the strategic planning and development. Strategic planning and development, as what we discussed last meeting, involve the formulation and implementation of long-term strategies and policies uh, to promote sustainable growth, no, improve service delivery, and enhance the well-being of communities. And this process encompasses setting goals, identifying priorities, allocating resources, and coordinating efforts to address current and future challenges effectively. At its core, no, strategic planning in local government and regional administration involves defining a clear vision and mission for the community or region, along with the specific objectives and action plans not to achieve desired outcome. So these plans typically consider factors such as population growth, economic trends, infrastructure needs, the environmental concerns, and social equity, no, considerations to develop a comprehensive strategy for sustainable development. Strategic planning often begins with a thorough analysis of a current situation and future trends, including demographic shifts, no, in economic indicators and environmental conditions. This analysis helps identify opportunities for growth as well as potential risks and challenges that need to be addressed proactively. So once goals and priorities are established, no, local government develop strategies and initiatives to achieve them. No? So this may involve investment in infrastructure such as syempre, transportation networks, utilities, no, public facilities, and as well as policies, no, to support economic development, job creation, and entrepreneurship. Strategic planning also encompasses stakeholders' engagement and collaborations to ensure that the needs of and perspective of diverse community members are taken into account. This may involve consultations with residents, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other government agencies to gather input, build consensus, and foster partnership for implementation. Again, strategic planning in local government and regional administration involves a monitoring and evaluation mechanism to track progress, measure outcomes, and adjust strategies as needed. This may include regular reviews of performance indicators, yung KPI natin, public feedback, mechanisms, and periodic updates to strategic plans to reflect changing circumstances and priorities. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, sir.
Sure, thank you, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
So good morning once again, classmates, sir. Ako po si Nico Andrew Carbabado, Army LPT SO2 para po mag-present sa Module 5, Strategic Planning and Development, focusing on project management. Project management is synonymous to a company, barangay, a school, or a nation's existence. For as long as the organization exists, projects will always be cooked up in the name of betterment for the corresponding denizens. So, as we all know that innovation is the necessity is the mother of all innovations. So, ibig sabihin po, hanggang nandito po tayo, nandyan na po ang projects, no matter how small or big it is. In this context, let me show you an example po kung gaano siya kasimple. Sa school, meron siya, kunwari, isang school, nangarap siya to accommodate more pupils. Siyempre, magkakaroon siya ng room expansions. And a electric cooperative, gusto niya pong makasupply to more end users, to more clients. They would have to increase their current and power transformers. Sa amin naman, examples, jail units, whether it's BJMP or Bucor, to increase the security ng isang jail unit, it would be proper to conduct upgrades and renovations for perimeter fences. So, ganun po kasimple yung sa project management. Project management is also about knowing what we want to achieve, how it is going to be achieved, how long to be achieved, and in the most efficient way for it to be accomplished. There are 5 stages in project management. Initiation, finding out the 3 Ws, what, why, who of the proposed project. Sino-sino nga ba or para saan nga ba yung pre-propose na project? Kahit gano'n yan kasimple, kahit renovation ng maliit na CR, hanggang sa perimeter fence, hanggang sa pag-build ng panibagong jail building, parati na itong meron ganito. Planning, detailed outline such as timeline, cost, resources needed, risk, and quality. Siyempre, nandyan yan parati. Execution, the start of the work, and ensuring progress tracker. Progress tracker, syempre, nandiyan na yung, alam naman natin siguro, yung kontrata na hindi po pwedeng ma-delay without even a proper reason, yung contractor para mag-deliver doon sa nakuha niyang kontrata sa government, for example. Monitoring and controlling, comparing theoretical plan to actual progress and takes measures during errors. Siyempre, hindi naman po pwede na pagkakatiwala mo na lang yan sa contractor. Closing is about wrapping up and noting learned mitigations. So, nandiyan na yun, yung matututo yung government na nag-apply for a third-party contractor, pero nandiyan din yung part wherein before the delivery of the final payment, magkakaroon pa ng acceptance of the project. An example would be the North-South Railway Project. Ito ngayon yung kasalukuyang binubuo pa rin na nagsimula noong 2016 po. Nakita na rin siguro natin to sa balita. The North-South Railway Project involves the development and revitalization of the long-haul and commuter railway network. The project stretches from Pampanga down to Metro Manila hanggang sa Calamba, sa Laguna, sa 4A. So, from Region 3, going to Metro Manila area, lagpas siya sa Region 4, 4A. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the main goal here is siya yung magiging backbone nung i-develop pang railway systems ng PNR stretching more further sa Luzon. Kunwari, tip of Batanes, tapos papunta na siya sa amin dito sa Bicol. So, if i-apply natin yung 5 stages po dito, initiation would be the idea of building 653 kilometers long-haul passenger rail line and 56 commuter rail line. It is participated po by DOTR, Department of Transportation, PNR, Philippine National Railway, JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, DMCI, yung sikat na building construction firm, Sumitomo, siya po yung Japanese firm na magsusupply ng train sets. Si JICA, siya naman kasama si ADB, Asian Development Bank, dalawang foreign entities, na magpapahiram sa Philippine government ng pondo sa planning. Ang plano, sabi raw, mula 2016, nagsimula na yung pag-break or paglagay ng pundasyon, pag-procure ng mga gamit. Tapos inaasahan na by 2028 matapos ito. Actually, 2015 pa lang, nag-usap-usap na ang gobyerno, JICA, ADB, tapos yung iba pang entities about the project. It stretches from New Clark City going down to Calamba City. The first part of the project was started on 2019, Malolos to Clark. Yung first phase cost around $2.75 billion. So nasa planning na. Nandun yung cost estimation na eh. Next naman, Manila to Calamba, $4.3 billion. Yung sa train sets naman, yung mismong mga bagon, yung mismong engine na gagamitin, was $230 million na binigay na noong 2019 and I expect na darating siya this year or dumating na siya last year. worthing around $230 million. Yung total cost ng buong plano po ito, yung mahabang linya, kasama na yung tren, kasama na yung istasyon, ay magkakahalaga ng 873.62 billion pesos. Tatlo po yung proponent doon sa pag-release ng fund. Again, si ADB, Asian Development Bank, si JICA, and of course, yung Philippine government. Execution. So, nagsimula yung concept noong 2015, nag-start yung groundbreaking noong 2016, 2021 was the initial first phase, February 2023, train delivery, 2025 would be the second phase going down sa Calamba City, and 2028, hopefully, matapos na to. Now, for the monitoring and controlling, on March 15, 2024, PNR Clark 1, ang status niya po, Malolos to Bulacan, is 37.3%. PNR Clark 2 is 25.76%. Partial opening on 2022 was noted na na-delay. So ang sinasite po ng contractor and lahat ng entities na involved was the existence of COVID-19 for 3 to 4 years. Kaya po sila na halt or nagkaroon ng delay. Considering na before COVID-19, nagsimula na yung project. So ang sa closing na part, ongoing pa po siya. As LGU government unit craft their plans, programs, projects, and activities, they need to consider technical competency and the right expectation in implementing projects is a plus for effective management to capacitate local officials, both elective and non-elective, to possess the ability to manage the different kinds of projects of the LGU, as well as the ability to determine their feasibility before implementation. Siyempre, pag nandiyan yung ideal about compensating for an ailment of the municipality or city, thereby suggesting a project. Now, the main deciding factors for any LGU will always be the primary needs of their city or municipality. To cite an example, the pictures below are the old and the new Naga City Hospital po. So yung sa luma, syempre, dahil luma na siya, tapos napag-iwanan na yung sa ano niya mismo, lot area, tapos yung ability niya to accommodate the patients considering Naga City is a charter city and malaki na ang population namin. Syempre nararapat lang na malilipat na ito sa bago. So nalipat na to sa mas maluwag na space, mas bago yung building na binuksan. Ngayong taon pa lamang po, yung Naga City General Hospital. Organizational structure. So minimin po dito sa organizational structure would be the system or the flow in terms of conceptualizing, then funding, then monitoring the project. So say for example dito po sa grupo namin, since naging part din ako ng logistics division for 1 year, ang nagiging, tapos ngayon nasa jail unit po ako, ang nagiging sistema po sa amin would be that, examples, ako po, sa Tigaon District Jail ako, sa Tigaon, Camarines Sur located. Nangangailangan ko na rin kami ng panibagong gate. Pero hindi naman kami yung mag-build nun. Tala. Hello, good morning. Once again po, sorry sa technical difficulties. As I was saying po, kunwari sa amin, sa Tigagan District Jail, nag-request po kami ng panibagong malaking gate. Siyempre, hindi naman kami makakabigay ng budget noon at saka wala kaming manpower para mag-produce noon. As simple as a main gate, i-request namin ito mula sa isang jail unit. I-escalate namin to pataas dito po sa Logistics Division. Meron po kaming sarili assigned na logistics officer. Iko-contact niya po yung sa division chief sa taas po. This is the logistics division. Siya rin yung nag-handle ng engineering and maintenance namin. Mula sa logistics division, example, titingnan niya, kaya ba siyang supplyan ng RSAW, ng Regional Supply Accounting Office? Meron pa ba siyang pwede makuha ng mga materyales na pwedeng i-build mismo dito? So, kung wala na dito, mag-feedback dito sa logistics division, pupunta na sila ngayon dito sa Comptrollership Division o kundi naman sa ARDO or ARDA. So, Assistant Regional Director for Operations tas Administration. Yun yung pinagkaibang dalawa. So, either way, pagka-confirm na kaya naman siyang pondohan, magsisimula na ngayon yung cooperation ng Logistics Division papunta kay Finance Service Office Section. Kasi as we all know, na yung kunwari ngayon ay 2024, yung budget for this fiscal year was already computed back pa last year, no, fiscal year 2023. So mangyayari, ang magagawa ni Finance Service Division is to find out a way to provide a funding for the emergency project. Siyempre, kailangan ng gate for the requesting jail. Pag nagkaroon na po ito ng pag-uusap, si Finance tapos si Logistics Division, gagawa na siya ng proper paperworks, tapos kukuha na siya siyempre ng ngayon ng mga bidders para sa project, ibababa with certain special rules and requirements para sa isang nanalong bidder. Kasi an example, just to give an example po, pag may kunwari may building project na gagawin para sa isang jail unit, one of the basic rules, special rules kasi para sa isang contractor would be requiring all workers not to wear the yellow upper uniform. So hindi sila pa pwede magsuot ng yellow upper long sleeves man yan or t-shirt man yan or sando man yan doon sa construction site na malapit sa jail kasi rule namin po sa lahat ng kulungan na pag civilian ka, contractor ka o ano pa man ang estado mo, basta hindi ka PDL, bawal ka po mag-yellow just to make sure na hindi ka possible escapee, hindi ka mapagkakamala na isa ka rin na PDL. So that is one of the special rules na ginagawa ng isang contractor para sa isang project ng jail unit. So dagdag information lang po yun. So yun po yun. So yun yung sumasakop basically sa isang operation, sa organizational structure para sa isang project sa PGMP. Sample lang po yun. Typical project management practices for the LGU. Projects and LGUs are managed using different levels of project management, expertise, methods, tools, and templates depending on project management maturity level and organizational environmental factors for project management knowledge areas. So halos parehas din to doon sa kanina, yung 5 stages. Dito, sinabi, project scope management. Scope management. Process of developing the scope for planning, procurement. So bago magsimula, titingnan mo na feasible ba yung budget, kaya ba ng budget, ano ba yung mga dapat hindi mabalgar na rules tulad ng nasabi ko kanina. Sa amin, sa jail unit, kailangan bawal yung nakayalo, bawal din lumapit sa mga PDL, bawal rin yung may mga workers na may kakilala na PDL. Project cost management, basic cost estimation to budgeting procedures. So, anticipated na din kasi na there is the possibility na pwede more than the amount, baka magkaroon ng backlogs kasi nangyayari talaga po yan. Kaya nga nagkakaroon ng instances, kahit sa amin na may isa nang nanalong contractor, sinimulan niya na biglang at the middle of the project, tinigil niya. Magrarason na ganito, kasyo ganito, ganyan. It happened even to our jail. Mabibigyan na naman ng panibagong contractor para lang matapos yung project. So ang nangyayari, in the end, nagkakaroon ng excess or nagsobra doon sa pondo na kinakailangan sanang sakto lang. So nandito kasama na yan, project cost management. Dahil mayroong buffer na kakaunti. Project time management, milestone schedules. It talks about the specific agreement na dapat within these parameters, bago pa dumating yung monsoon season, para hindi masayang yung mga materyales, lalo na kung bawal siya mabasa, dapat matapos na yung said building. That is an example. Project procurement management, proper vetting on materials and contractors. So ito na po yung part na sino ba yung bidder na mananalo, ano ba yung materials na gagamit. Importance of standardized project management practices. Standardized project management enhances probability of success through systematic planning and implementation methodologies. Again, ginamit ko po dito sa layout na ito yung BGMP Standards and Procedures on Jail Planning and Design. Meaning, ito po ay sumusunod sa magkakaibang rules na nag-exist sa ating bansa. Kung makikita nyo po dito sa kanan, nandito yung ino-observe ng mga civil engineers na ng master plumbers na Philippine Plumbing Code. Since ako ay isang graduate ng electrical engineering, tapos sa license ko po, sumusunod, familiar na rin ako sa Philippine Electrical Code. BFP, Fire Code of the Philippines. So, ibig sabihin, ibang rules ng country, ng ating bansa, ang sinusunod mula sa iba-ibang ahensya. Ultimo sa budgeting, DBM, ganyan. So, ito pong graph na ito, regardless of the itsura, sa itsura niya, from Batanes down to Hulo, basta't merong jail unit, ang isang BGMP, makikita mo po parati na merong area reserved for livelihood. Meron kami parati dyan building for health facility and dispensary. Meron kaming administrative building, kahit isang bloke ng ano lang yan, ng building na 5 by 5 or 5 by 4 na building, as long as it is intended only for the administrative operations, meron po tayo dyan. Watchtowers or catwalk, meron din. Guardhouse, meron. So, sabihin, standardized na po siya na kung ano man yung salita niya, Tagalog, Bisaya, Bicol, or Mindanaoan, parating meron ng ganitong nasusunod kasi ito yung standard. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng projects dapat may standard. And ayan na nga, sumusunod po siya sa iba-ibang local and national rules. Key challenges associated with implementation on management practices. Now, it is already established na there's this possibility na yung contractor hindi po siya makakasunod doon sa agreement nyo. So, example po to, excerpt to from a document from DPWH. It is said here na yung head of the procuring entity representative siya ng DPWH upon the detection that a substandard material was used. An example, sa isang project nila, road project or building project nila, he would obligate the contractor within 90 days na dapat ayusin nila po yun. Lahat ng hindi ma-repair on time, ito nakalagay, full reimbursement of expenses incurred therein upon demand. Tapos syempre, hindi lang naman si third party contractor yung may kasalanan dito at dapat managot. Likewise, penalty shall be meted to the concerned DPWH officials who are responsible or answerable for such non-compliance, which is considered a less grave offense under item D.1 - simple neglect of duty as provided in the revised rules on administrative cases in the civil service shall be punishable by suspension of 1 month and 1 day to 6 months for the first offense and dismissal from the service for the second offense. So meron po tayo para doon sa third party contractor. And meron din tayo para doon sa official ng government na just in case na magkaroon ng substandard or low quality of workmanship. Now, project management and local government and regional administration in the Philippines. All in all, ito po yung sa kanyang summary. Strategic planning and prioritization talks about comprehensive assessment of people's need. Ito na nga po yung sinabi natin kanina na necessity or the need is the mother of all invention. So, pag na-establish natin yon, project identification, ano ba yung makakabuti? Identifying, pressing, and aligned projects. Ano ba yung may problema tayo sa hospital? Ano ba dapat yung unay natin gagawin? Ano yung connected doon? Taking in consideration, syempre, na kung ang DOH magkakaroon na rin ng sarili niyang project, kunwari, ng hospital dito kunwari, sa isang syudad or sa isang municipality, nararapat din lamang na yung syudad, wherein mayroon na siyang budget and may pinapropose na siya, hindi niya na gagawin, magkakaroon ng redundancy na magkakaroon pa ng panibagong hospital wherein parehas naman sila may capacity. Instead, yung government ang mag-a-adjust or LGU kunwari yung mag-a-adjust kasi nauna na yung kabila into forming another project to counter the needs of the people. Aligning with the development plan, project for the greater good. So parati naman na yun nga, kung ano man yung ikakabuti ng tao, and yung mas kinakailangan ng tao, yun yung inuuna, considering with a limited budget. Resource allocation and budgeting, cooperation with LGU and DBM, syempre po, fiscal years or fiscal allotments would be done almost a year prior sa target na petsa. Implementation and monitoring. Implementation and monitoring is all about collaboration of all project members. So, pwede siyang NGOs, pwede yung third-party contractors, requesting party, government agency. So, nandun yun. Efficient execution is about efficiency and time delivery. So, considering the limited amount of money, tapos limited amount of time, kailangan yung pinaka maigi ng gagawin based na sa proposal ng contractor, based na din sa plano ng government, yun yung mangyayari. Monitoring and evaluation, tracking and debugging. It's all about finding out the anticipated problems. Tas prior to the first start of the project, anticipated na yon. So meron na siyang matic na, meron na siyang way to relieve the problem just in case na mag-arise yun. Community engagement. It's all about the open channels between the LGU and the people. So example, isang dam, tapos affected yung group of community of people na yon. So magkakaroon ng agreement or compromise between the concerned parties. Stakeholder involvement. Continuous feedback. So stakeholder means yung barangay officials na nakakasakop dito sa tao, i-represent sila, parati silang nandun sa site. Example, hindi lang para magbantay, pero para na rin sa transparency. Parang may involvement din sila. Information dissemination is about transparency and details. So ito na yung mga malalaking part ng DPWH wherein naka-detail requesting party, yung agency, kunwari DPWH, budget allotted, kunwari 103 million pesos. Tapos para saan, ano yung connection, ano yung ruta. So nandito na yun, yung mga TARP. Capacity building is all about training and improvement. Enhancing local capacity, workshops and knowledge sharing para sa mga personnel doon sa contractor and most importantly, doon sa government employees involved doon sa projects. Malapit na po. Implementing and evaluating development program or project. Implementing development projects, plan, put into action. Project execution. Siyempre, executing various components of the project. Resource management, efficient use of manpower and resources. Stakeholder coordination, collaborating with relevant stakeholders. Kanina nasabi na. Quality assurance, high standard has been met. In respect din, syempre, sa Philippine Building Code, Philippine Electrical Code, Fire Code, at kung ano pa. Ano man yung project na yun, may katumbas din yun ng rule na dapat sundin, national rule. Evaluating development projects, critical process to assess efficiency and impact. Monitoring, pag-check doon sa milestones. Pag sinabing milestones, yun yung parang, okay, kunwari sa isang building, nakapundasyon na siya, susunod, nagkabuhos na siya, yun yung mga milestone. Outcome assessment, evaluating immediate results. Impact evaluation, assessing the broader and long-term effects. Hindi lang yung pag natapos na kunwari yung project. What if meron palang nagli-leak na nakakasama sa environment? What if hindi na anticipate na yun pala ay naka-build sa isang fault line tulad nung nangyari sa Bataan Nuclear Power Plant? Yun yung long-term effects. Paano? What if? Ganito, ganyan. Feedback and adjustments adapts to the people. So, hindi porke nandiyan na yan, what if nagkaroon ng complication? It needed immediate repair or immediate renovation dahil naapektuhan yung tao nasa paligid nila. So, adapts to the people. Listening to the feedback of the people. So, resource management and risk management. Resource management is about strategically utilizing resources for the maximum output. Risk management, identifying, assessing, and mitigating risk before and during the project. So that would be all. This would be the resources. Marahay na salamat si Jos Pablos. Thank you po. And once again, si Nico Bado. Thank you po.
Okay. Okay, so as our presenter mentioned, no, effective strategic planning and development require a strong leadership, governance structure, and institutional capacity within local governments and regional administration. And this include having dedicated staff, resources, expertise to support planning efforts, as well as mechanisms, no, for coordination and collaboration across different departments and agencies. So strategic planning and development are essential tools for local governments and regional administrations to guide growth, no, and investment in a way that promotes prosperity, sustainability, and quality of life for residents. So by setting clear goals, engaging stakeholders, and implementing coordinated strategies, the government can address complex challenges and build resilience, no, driving a community for the future. And I think that's it for this topic.